Boxing Truth here. Let's bang out this prediction vid real quick. It's finally here. Thurman versus Garcia this Saturday. Unification. Both guys in their primes. The type of fight you don't really get too often when you have two top guys in their prime actually squaring off with one another. And the unification bout that makes it even more significant. And I've been a fan of both of these guys for the longest, ever since they burst on the scene. Been watching Danny fight even before he reached his HBO days. I didn't watch Keith Thurman until he burst onto the scene on HBO, and I became a fan of both guys as soon as they started getting some more recognition. They started getting some more exposure. But as time has went on, to this very day, I've become a bigger fan of Keith Thurman. I still remain a fan of Garcia, but he's turned me off at times with a fight that he turned down and taking fights that he didn't need to take. And both guys' careers stagnated around 2014 after Heyman parted ways with Golden Boy in terms of business. And then both of these guys started taking fights that didn't matter, that didn't do anything for their careers. And now Thurman is finally getting the fights that he needs, that he's been wanted, that he's been asking for. And now finally we're going to see if Danny is truly a welterweight, because he has yet to fight a true welterweight at this level. The only true welterweight he's fought in his career was Samuel Vargas, but he's not that high caliber of fighter. He's a lower caliber of fighter. He was just a tune-up bout in order for Garcia to get sharp for this Keith Thurman assignment. Now, both guys are undefeated. Both guys bring punching power. Both have their own set of skills, their own styles. They're both counterpunchers. So what makes this fight interesting is that who is going to lead in this fight? Who is going to be taking the lead? Who is going to make the other try to set up their own offense instead of relying on their opponent's mistakes, which both of these guys do, and they do it very well. But in this case, they're going to be fighting a natural counterpuncher on the opposite side of each other. They're both natural counterpunchers, so it's going to come down to who's going to make who lead, who's going to make someone press the issue, and who's going to be able to land the better, more effective counter punches, as each guys will take turns at leading at each other. Now, Keith Thurman, he brings more to the table in terms of athleticism, in terms of movement. I believe he's the faster guy. I believe he's the stronger guy. I believe he's the better puncher. I believe he's the better athlete. I end up watching like countless videos of Thurman shadowboxing. It's actually entertaining watching Keith Thurman shadowbox. He's really into it. He's pretty much simulating a fight when he's shadowboxing. He has a very distinctive style of shadowboxing, and everything looks good. His movement, his counters, his left hook, his right hand, his uppercuts. The only thing that's lacking is the jab. He doesn't have a great jab, but neither does Danny Garcia. His jab is a little better than Thurman's, but I wouldn't say it's the most effective jabs in the world. Neither of these guys have lights out type jabs. Garcia, he's a guy that reacts to his opponent's mistakes, reacts to his opponent's moves as they're trying to attack them. He tries to adjust and react. He'll punch with his opponent. He'll counter when his opponent is trying to attack him. So it's very dangerous when you try to attack Danny Garcia outright and you stay in the pocket with him. Danny's more of a pocket boxer puncher, likes to stand within punching range. He pretty much opens himself up for you to attack him in order for himself to land his counter shots, whether it's his left hook, which he throws kind of wide, and also his right hand. He also throws his right hand kind of wide. He doesn't have like the best technique in terms of, he's not a textbook guy. He throws his hooks wide. He throws his hooks to the body wide, and he'll do himself some favors by going to the body of Keith Thurman, as Thurman has been hurt there in the past. He's not a guy that's unbreakable. He's a guy that could be hurt. He's a guy that's shown vulnerabilities in terms of durability. So the question will be, can Danny Garcia hurt Keith Thurman? And I think he can, yes. I think Danny will be dangerous early on when he's fresh. That's when Thurman has to be careful. He has to be smart. And Danny, I think he can hurt Keith Thurman, but other people have hurt Keith Thurman in the past. The question is, can you keep Thurman down on the mat? Can you knock him down and keep him down? It's a lot harder to knock down Keith Thurman and knock him out, stop him, than it is to hurt him with a body shot or hurt him with a shot that he doesn't see coming. Thurman has been rocked in numerous fights in the past, but what impresses me about Thurman is that even though he gets rocked, even though he gets hurt to the body, he always comes back. He always shows the dog in him, and ends up coming back in the fight or recovering pretty fast and then winning the next round or recording a knockout later in the fight after getting rocked prior. I've never seen Danny Garcia hurt in the fight. In all the fights that I've seen him in, I've never seen him hurt. He's shown a good chin. He's shown good durability. He's shown good toughness. Even against the biggest punchers he's fought, like the Lucas Matisse fight. He got hit with some big shots later in the fight, but I never seen him totally buzzed or totally rocked. He's got a lot of toughness in him. Maybe tougher in terms of durability when it comes to Keith Thurman. But Keith Thurman has always shown heart and dog in him every time he gets hurt and always comes back. So it's going to be interesting to see if Thurman is able to put a dent in Danny Garcia, as Garcia has shown a good chin in the past. But he's never been in there with this type of fighter in terms of size and strength and power and mobility that Keith Thurman possesses. So Thurman, I believe, is going to come out and he's going to box. He's going to move. He's going to use his athleticism and legs. He's going to make Danny come to him. I can see Thurman taking turns at leading and also, but he's going to be, I believe, moving, looking to box Danny Garcia in the beginning. Looking to burn the gas tank, make Danny come to him, make Danny lead. And that's going to be an issue for Danny, as Danny has trouble setting up offense, and he's not really a good pressure fighter. He's a guy that likes to stand in the pocket and react to your shots. So Thurman, if he's smart, he'll use his mobility. He'll burn Danny Garcia's gas tank, and he'll take him into the later rounds, as Danny has always shown in his past fights that he has stamina issues. He's slowed down in fights. He slowed down against Zab Judah after whipping Judah's ass the first 9 rounds. He lost the last 3. Slowed down considerably in that fight. He slowed down a little bit in the Herrera fight. Got whooped in the latter rounds of that fight. It was close. When I first watched it, I scored it a draw. There was a lot of hard rounds to score in that fight. But Danny definitely got chipped up in the 12th round. He got whooped in the 12th round, but I don't know. I'm not sure if Herrera won 7 rounds to say that Danny received a gift, but he's been in some life and death struggles. He got his ass whooped in the last 4 or 5 rounds against Lamont Peterson, but Peterson, I felt, started too late. And Peterson, I don't feel, won 7 rounds in that fight. So Garcia's had 2 bad nights in the ring against Herrera and Lamont Peterson. But like Thurman says, neither of those guys definitively beat Danny Garcia. Neither of those guys, I felt, won 7 rounds. And Keith Thurman is going to take it up a notch. He's gonna move around. He's gonna put it on Danny a little earlier. He's gonna land more bigger shots. He's gonna test Danny Garcia's gas tank. Now, people will say Danny has the better resume overall. He's fought more better known fighters, but Keith Thurman's resume is much superior in the welterweight division. Danny Garcia has only fought 1 true welterweight, and he was a lower caliber fighter. Keith Thurman has fought strong welterweights, top welterweights, contenders, and former world champions. He fought Diego Chavez. He fought Luis Collazo. He fought Sean Porter. Those are true welterweights. And Collazo, a little past it, but he's still a dangerous fighter. He can still knock guys out at his age. He's not an easy fight. It would have been interesting to see if Danny was ever able to fight Collazo before Thurman, how the comparison would have been in each guy's performances. Collazo probably would have gave Danny Garcia problems as well. But the fact is, Thurman has fought more powerful fighters. He's fought stronger fighters, bigger fighters, and he's fought true welterweights. His resume at the welterweight division is much superior to Danny Garcia. Garcia has fought smaller guys, not as athletic, not as bigger punchers. Thurman, I feel he's the better fighter. He's a stronger fighter, the more athletic fighter, but he's also the smarter fighter. And I feel that's going to be the difference. He just brings more to the table. He has more versatility. He can adjust to different styles. He could do something that's not working, and then if it's not working, then he'll adjust and see what else he could use in his arsenal that can make it go in his favor. Garcia, he really he can box. He's got some movement, but he's more of a pocket boxer. He's a guy that likes to stand stationary and react to your shots. See if he can get some counters and hurt you to the body or the head. But wasn't easy picking this fight. I'm a fan of both guys, but as time went on, I've become a bigger fan of Keith Thurman. He's annoyed me a little bit with some of his statements in the lead up to this fight, but I feel Keith Thurman is here to stay. I feel he's going to become the unified welterweight champion. He's going to be one of the new faces in the welterweight division. He's going to be a player. He's going to be considered among the elites of the welterweight division. And I've been waiting for a long time for Thurman to get these type of opportunities. And I'm expecting a scintillating performance from Keith Thurman. The layoff prior to the Porter fight, the injury, perhaps affected his performance like he stated. Maybe that's why he couldn't get the stoppage. But everything that's behind him now, he got the win against Porter. It was a close fight, close, tough fight. I don't expect a as physical a fight in this fight because Danny Garcia is smaller, not as physical as Sean Porter, but Danny Garcia is a more skilled fighter, I feel, than Sean Porter. And he could catch Thurman into something if he's not careful, if he attacks too early, if he gets too greedy and tries to force a stoppage, he could get caught. So Garcia has the power to hurt Thurman, but can he keep him down on the mat? Can he stop him? That's much harder to do. Thurman, I feel, will hurt Danny later in the fight. He'll burn his gas tank. He'll get him tired, and it'll be a wear you down type stoppage. As I'm expecting a big time performance with Keith Thurman finally. I'm going out on a limb here, and I'm picking Keith Thurman by late round stoppage in the 10th round. It'll be competitive early on. Garcia will be dangerous and fresh in the first 4 or 5 rounds, and then Thurman's going to use his superior gas tank, his superior power. He's the bigger, stronger fighter, and he's going to wear down Danny Garcia to a 10th round stoppage. Danny Garcia, he can definitely pull off the upset. He's the underdog in this fight, but he's not a clear underdog. It's not set in stone. He could land something. He could hurt Thurman if he punches with him, counters him. And Danny Garcia, he's been the underdog his whole career. He surprised a lot of people. He didn't surprise me when he knocked out Khan. He didn't surprise me when he beat Lucas Matisse. I picked him to beat Lucas Matisse. But I'll actually be quite surprised if his magic continues and he finds a way to beat Keith one-time Thurman. But I think his luck will run out this Saturday as Thurman will stop Danny Garcia in the 10th round. But y'all let me know what y'all think. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.